semi-annual award ceremony. We appreciate everyone's attendance. We have many guests here today, and rather than go through all those names, I'm just going to welcome everyone, and obviously thank everyone for making time to come here today and taking time out of your schedules. We know that whether you're working in law enforcement or not working in law enforcement, you're busy. It's a hectic life, and I appreciate, as I know the recipients today also appreciate your attendance here. At this time, I'd like to ask our chaplain, Reverend Bill Roscoe, to come forward.
Again, it's a great honor and an awesome privilege for me to serve in some small way in the Canyon County Sheriff's Office. And I have the greatest respect and regard for all of you and appreciate the support that I get from you and the opportunity that I have to serve you. Never forget that you can call me anytime you need to or want to, and I'll be available for you. So if you'll join me, we'll ask God's blessing on this wonderful ceremony. Father, we're so thankful to have the opportunity to gather here today and to recognize people who have done some extraordinary things. And we know, God, that in law enforcement every day, officers and deputies do extraordinary things. But it's great to have an opportunity to recognize people, to thank people, and to thank you for these people, God. And as our sheriff has often said, this is a calling, this is a way of life, unlike most other professions in the world. And these men and women who wear blue and the badge are extraordinarily gifted people, called of God to serve their community. Bless this time and these deputies being recognized today, and we'll give you all the thanks in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend. We greatly appreciate you as always, and I know I say it all the time, we couldn't do this job without you and your support and what you do for us on a daily basis, and especially in those times of need and crisis, which unfortunately we in law enforcement experience quite often anymore. And along those lines, I'm going to give you a quote. I try to give a quote of something I've read or someone has given me at each of these events, and today is no different. And I thought this is appropriate. I just finished reading a book about an officer who did covert operations. In fact, his last name was Covert. When he infiltrated the mob in New Jersey back in the 70s, Bobby Covert. And he's now an NBA, has been an NBA official for probably a quarter of a decade. For a quarter of a century. And so, but reading his book, it's a very interesting book, if you get a chance to read it. But in it, he quotes Martin Luther King, and I thought this quote was very appropriate for what we in law enforcement, and not just law enforcement, but as a society, are experiencing today. The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but rather where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. And I think that's very appropriate for where we are today. Martin Luther King said that many, many years ago. This morning, as a follow-up to the Reverend, and of course to just that quote, appropriately, I'd like to point out that as of this morning, in our nation, 69 law enforcement officers have lost their life so far this year in line of duty, as of this morning. 2 of those officers lost their lives who were correctional officers, which we sometimes forget about our colleagues in corrections and even in our own detention. But these were correctional officers, killed. 1 woman in Texas, a female officer, and a male officer in Pennsylvania. The female officer was killed by an inmate after he, in essence, lured her into the cell under some pretense and killed her. The male officer who was killed in Pennsylvania, he and the inmate both died when the inmate, as they were fighting, they went down an elevator shaft and killed them both. Obviously brought on by the inmate, not by the officer, to the best of my knowledge. So 69 have lost their lives in the line of duty, in what we do. I don't have to stand here and tell you the rhetoric that law enforcement faces on a daily basis in our nation, across the world, but specific to us as in this nation. Politics are a mess, and regardless of what party you affiliate with, it's a mess. And unfortunately, one side is more of a mess than the other, in my opinion. That's my opinion. I'm so tired of hearing presidential candidate and others talk about one specific group of individuals whose lives matter. All of these lives matter, especially blue lives matter. And all the lives associated with law enforcement lives matter, including these children, your spouses who are not in law enforcement, but they're there to support you each and every day. So I would hope that somehow, somewhere, we get rid of the rhetoric that only certain people's lives matter, and that we go forward with the fact that we are a nation of laws. We are a nation of rules. And it is the rule of law that dictates how we go through each and every day. And without the rule of law, we have chaos. And it's not a very large leap of faith to walk to any other country outside of our own who does not have the rule of law to see chaos and anarchy and tyranny and dictatorship. We have to get a handle on it. But as we wait to get a handle on it from our government and our government officials, we still hold the line. We in law enforcement, we will not back up. You hear me say it all the time. But it's just stunning. A person that I know, a great man, comes from a great family. I had my second opportunity to hear this man speak. I heard him speak in Minneapolis a few weeks ago at the National Sheriff Association conference. And his name is Howard Buffett. And he's the son of Warren Buffett. And Warren Buffett's, I believe, the fourth richest man in the world today. And Howard Buffett runs a foundation of entrepreneurship and humanitarian aid to people throughout the world, not just the United States. And Howard, if you ever get a chance to hear him speak, it's tremendous. Howard's a law enforcement officer. He's the son of the fourth richest man in the world, and he chose to be a reserve officer in the state of Illinois and the state of Arizona, where he has land and a vested interest. And he's been a law enforcement officer for some time. Imagine that he believes so strongly in law enforcement and what you stand for, that he puts his life on the line, and he has absolutely no reason to do so other than he believes in the mission. He believes in the mission so deeply that he's gone to other countries. I believe the last count was 120 countries that he's offered aid to monetarily. And in 3 of those countries, he's been arrested. He's been arrested in the Congo. He's been arrested in the Soviet Union, the Soviet bloc. He's been arrested in countries who had no rule of law. No rule of law. So no matter who he is, no matter who his dad is, he was treated as nothing because there was no rule of law. And he's lucky to be alive today to get out of those detention facilities. So I bring that up because it's important that it's not just us who face this, it's the entire society that face it. And yet today we're here to celebrate accomplishments, as Reverend pointed out, to people who have risen above and beyond the call of duty in some cases, and in some cases just simply done their job that they signed on to do, which we so greatly appreciate. And I bring up one of the things about the deaths that have happened to our officers, because you all need to be ever vigilant. And you have to have situational awareness. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in this room, or if you're at the grocery store, or just simply getting in your patrol car at night, after work, or in the morning coming to work, regardless of what your shift is. So, I also want to take this opportunity to congratulate our staff and commend our staff, especially our detention deputies. And the reason for that is that we are in a critical time of trying to recruit people. Every law enforcement agency across the nation is facing the same recruitment problems. I sat with the chief of Eagle last night. He said, how many are you down? Roughly 20-some. Yeah, I'm down 40-some. It's all relative to the agency you're with. And he said, we just can't get anybody. Well, we can't get anybody when there's rhetoric against why would you want to be a law enforcement officer, do what you all do, and then get criticized for the fact that you do it. Oh, and we don't pay you very well either, on top of it. We've got to put that in. And so, one of those things that's been critical to us in the detention facility, as you all know, I'm statutorily held to operate that facility. And we have to man it, day in and day out, every day, every night. This pay period, this July pay period, we had 112 open shifts that we had to cover. 112 open shifts. The detention deputies have done an extraordinary job of filling those shifts in overtime. So we're paid out roughly 112 overtime shifts, 12-hour shifts, just to keep operating. And the detention deputies have filled the majority of that. We even have patrol officers trying to help out with that as well. And that's a commendation to our agents. It really is. Because God knows, you work 2 or 3 or 4 12-hour shifts, you really do need a break in that detention facility. But these men and women are coming back and doing it because they believe in the mission. So I truly appreciate that. Some good news is, we bring 8 more back from the academy, the detention academy, on the 19th of August. And Monday, we start 6 new deputies this coming Monday and 1 new ad tech. So we're gaining ground. Thank goodness. We're gaining ground. We appreciate that. All right. Now I'll move on. So at this time, I'd like to acknowledge those who are receiving gold badges for 20 years of dedicated service. The gold badge obviously indicates the time in service and certain disciplines. But this time I'd like to have Corporal Chad Harold come forward, Deputy Kelly Anderson, Deputy Greg Folk, Deputy David Phelps, Mark Tolman, Catherine Wade, and Laura. Is Laura here? Adia? She was working a night shift, I think, so she's probably home sleeping. So the gold badge is a very significant milestone in our careers. And the men and lady who are standing before you have achieved that milestone. And so it's my pleasure to present them a gold badge. Lady, you're more than welcome. And obviously, she does not wear a badge on her uniform. So we sent her for 20 years. Wear a gold badge. Thank you all. We got photos? We good?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Congratulations.
So next we move to our retirement recipients. I guess that's how you say that. Obviously, I'd like to personally congratulate each of these individuals on their retirement for the many years of dedicated law enforcement service. Obviously, it's been great to have them here as a valuable asset to the sheriff's office. Several of these people worked over literally numerous sheriffs, under numerous sheriffs. And of course, your hard work and your diligence has made our office better, it's made it productive, and it's moved us forward. It's always sad to see people retire and move on, and it's sad for us, not for them, most likely. They are probably enjoying themselves and going to enjoy themselves. And I want to point out that I think that it's important to realize that those 69 people that I mentioned earlier today will never have that chance of retirement from law enforcement. And that's something that we take with us. Even in the time where we're congratulating people for retiring, in the back of my mind at least, there's 69 of our brothers and sisters who will not have that opportunity. And unfortunately, there'll be many others, but just keep that in mind. And so, I'd like to have the following individuals step forward, and then I'm going to ask Jill Nichols to also come forward from Idaho Police Officer Standards and Training. So if I could have Captain Dana Maxfield, Deputy Christina Garrison, Deputy William Burmeister, and Deputy Dana Wakefield, please come forward. And Jill, would you step forward as well? So Captain Maxfield, I'm going to read down the list here. Captain Maxfield has had 36 years of service. Deputy Christina Garrison, 26 years of service. Deputy William Burmeister, 23 years of service. And Deputy Dennis Wakefield, 12 years of service. And so, obviously, this is a incredible moment and time that you have accomplished what you've all accomplished. And very few words really can express the gratitude of not just the Sheriff's Office, but society as a whole. Real quickly, I mean, I worked with Chris Garrison in detectives when Chris Garrison was assigned to Department of Health and Welfare. Nearly 10 years you were over there, something like that, working sexual abuse crimes of children. And that's not the only time she worked those cases. A harrowing job, and it takes a toll on people. But she was always there night and day for those types of cases, and I appreciate working alongside of you and being there and learning from you, quite frankly, on numerous cases. And some of the cases were funny things happened in them, sometimes when people put their colleagues in odd situations in trailer parks or trailer houses with very strange individuals, but that's a private story. Not there. But, yeah. That's pretty bad. I'll never forget the smell. Yeah. But, Captain Maxfield, of course, has been with us for many, many years and guided numerous people, including Chief Deputy and mentor to many. Bill Burmeister, I mean, what can we say? He's accomplished so much in his career, and when you're out in the field and as a sniper on the SWAT team, and just that go-to guy, you know he's going to be there, you know your back is safe. And Dennis, we worked together in the detention facility. You've done remarkable things for us. You helped us progress and get better at what we do. And we're so happy for all of you to be able to take this time to thank you for the years of service and what you've accomplished and what you've given back. Not just to us again, but to society. So thank you. I appreciate it. Jill Nichols is here from Post, so she has a couple of things to hand out. I will clarify right from the beginning. We did not get all our paperwork over for Dennis's retirement thing for Jill to have today, but she will get that to him, and we've already got ours over to Captain Maxfield. So, right over to you.
Thank you, Sheriff. I'm here to present retirement cards to Chris Garrison and Bill Burmeister. I started my law enforcement career here at the County Sheriff's Office and had the opportunity to work with both of them. I think more with Bill when he was a reserve officer doing canine stuff. I don't know if you remember some of the stuff we did, going out on interdictions and riding with my dog in the front seat of Bill's car because we had a bad guy in the back seat. I didn't want my dog back there with him. And Chris, I didn't have the opportunity to work with you as much as I did Bill, but I remember going into a couple houses. I think you were with Health and Welfare at that time and doing some searches, and I just echo what the sheriff said, you'll never forget the smell. So I congratulate you guys on your retirement. I know you were 26 plus years. Bill, we count yours in full-time service, which the card says 11. So that's what they say there, and we appreciate all your service, and I appreciate your friendship and you guys being coworkers, and Bill being on the SWAT team with my husband. Keeping him safe. Thank you. Appreciate it.
I had prepared just a small speech, and I speak better from the heart. And I knew I wouldn't get through that. And I'd like to thank my family who are here, and all the families that are here, because we couldn't do it without you guys. I had wonderful supervisors along the way. Lieutenant DeShill, awesome. Chief DeShill was the best lieutenant. Lieutenant McCormick, great. All the people I worked with in CIP, awesome people over the year. All the people I worked with at Health and Welfare, they're wonderful, top-notch people, and we work so well, good, hand in hand, our agencies. I would like to tell just a small story, because I don't want to take up too much time, so I apologize for this, but we also have victims in the room. Victims, some victims of long ago, some not so long ago. 3 years ago, I worked a homicide case, and I can't say I just worked it, because I had so much help. I mean, these cases, large cases, takes a village. And during that case, we took the boyfriend of the suspect out. He had thrown some guns in the river, and one of those was a family heirloom to the family. And we took the sheriff and our dive guys out there, who are great. Ben Keys, great guy. And the sheriff stood in the same spot that we had this man show us where he threw the guns. The sheriff picked up two distinctive rocks that were similar to what we thought the weight and size of the gun, and threw those out into the river. Our dive guys went out there, Sheriff Donahue with them, and it was a long wait. It was an exciting day, but they did find that heirloom. We never found the weapon that killed Mr. Richardson, but we did find that heirloom gun that belonged to the family that they so wanted back, within 3 feet of where Sheriff Donahue threw that rock. So today, hey, and I know it's just a rod, but I wanted him always to have this rock. And for those of you who have watched Pulp Fiction, this was only in the top of my closet. I did not keep this hunk of a watch. And it says, in memory of George Richardson. Sorry, I'm a little nervous. And I'd like to present this to you. And I'd also like to call up Tim Richardson and Sarah Richardson. And kids, bring family, we don't care. Oh. So I'd like to present Sarah and Tim with that other rock. And it says, in loving memory of George Richardson. And I know you can't bring your dad back, but we love you guys.
Thank you. Chris, stay up here to have you take some photographs. And I'll make sure. Yes, I've got more to give you. So, first of all, thank you to the Richardson family for joining us here today. And Chris was right, it was a monumental effort by our entire staff and others. And she did a great job. We hope we brought closure in some small respect to your family. This is the hardest part of our job, right? And we're not, I just thank you for being here. And thank you, Chris, for this. That was God's intervention. You know, He guided my hand to throw that. It was Ben and I and our dive team, and we were glad to be out there that day. And again, a lot of effort. So thank you for that. That means a lot. I will keep it in my office, and I appreciate it. We need to give you your plaques. So to Christina Garrison, and as these plaques say, the Canyon County Sheriff's Office extends sincere gratitude to Deputy Christina Garrison for 27 years of dedicated service to law enforcement and the citizens of Canyon County. Congratulations and best wishes on your retirement. Captain Dana Maxfield, the Canyon County Sheriff's Office extends sincere gratitude to Captain Dana Maxfield for 36 years of dedicated service to law enforcement and the citizens of Canyon County. Congratulations and best wishes on your return. Deputy William Burmeister, how will the SWAT team ever be the same? Seriously. You know, the only thing I can say about this is that we will now have 2 out at SWAT camp. One that we really want to be there, which is Bill, and then the other guy. Oh, he's here. Oh, sorry. Please don't hurt anyone. The Canyon County Sheriff, Deputy William Burmeister. The Canyon County Sheriff's Office extends sincere gratitude to Deputy William Burmeister for 23 years of dedicated service to law enforcement and the citizens of Canyon County. Congratulations and best wishes on your return. Deputy Dennis Wakefield, Canyon County Sheriff's Office extends sincere gratitude to Deputy Dennis Wakefield for 12 years of dedicated service to law enforcement and the citizens of Canyon County. Congratulations and best wishes on your retirement. Are you good on photos? Excuse me?
What's that?
Are we good on photos?
I didn't get one with you and Burmeister.
Oh, sorry. Why not? We were ready.
And then with Wakefield.
Oh my God.
And I need one of you.
Okay, okay, we can do that. Are we good, Naomi? Are you good?
Oh gosh, she doesn't know phones very well. This might be one. Oh, geez, no.
I want her to have all my problems.
Good? Okay. Are you ready? Can I move on?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. It is, okay, so now we move to the Employee of the Month. With great pleasure, I acknowledge the Employees of the Month for January through June of 2016. The first one is January, is Deputy McQuiston, but he has another award coming, so I'm going to combine the two. So I'm going to skip over the Employee of the Month nomination at this point, move to February, and come back to the January, which is a part of this second award. So February, if I could have, for Employee of the Month, if I could have Conchita Montes come forward, please. I love putting you on the spot. Awesome. You can stay close. Our camera guy is not that good. So Conchita works in our crime lab, has for many years, and she was nominated by Sergeant Sean Nacarado. On February 8, 2016, Sergeant Nacarado recognized the work of Assistant Criminalist Conchita Montes. In addition to her normal duties, Conchita assisted detectives by spending numerous hours translating various types of media from Spanish to English, as well as interpreting phone calls. This was an important time-sensitive task as the department, the Sheriff's Office, was looking for an inmate that escaped from Pod 5. Conchita's help was valuable in taking the inmate into custody in a short period of time and to file additional charges on people that assisted the inmate with the escape. Sergeant Nacarado noted her willingness to help and provide her expertise and knowledge without question. Conchita is a team player and a valuable member of the Canyon County Sheriff's Office, as well as the Criminal Forensics Services team. So Conchita, thank you for your services and your help. And this plaque in recognition of. Is that fair? I knew that was coming, so. March, is Deputy Russell Donnelly here? I think he's working an overtime shift. Appropriately, he's instead of being here for the award ceremony, he's filling in for us to make sure we're operating at full staff. But I will read it for him. He was nominated by Sergeant Betty Cousins. It has been noted by several deputies that Deputy Donnelly has a skill of going the extra mile with difficult inmates and de-escalating difficult situations. Deputy Donnelly went above and beyond his duties with a specific mentally and emotionally challenged inmate. This inmate has a history of violence towards others as well as an extreme self-harming behaviors. These outbursts have resulted in the inmate being placed in the restraint chair multiple times. Deputy Donnelly took the time to listen and understand this inmate's issues and found a way to deal with the inmate in a positive manner. As an example, Deputy Donnelly found out that the inmate enjoys Disney music and prevented the inmate from becoming self-harming and restraining simply by singing Disney songs along with this inmate. Based on Deputy Donnelly's willingness to go outside the box in his dealings with this inmate, he has shown the core values of this agency and deserves to be recognized by his efforts. And of course, the command staff agrees with this nomination and truly appreciate what this deputy does to de-escalate a very, very problematic situation that we still deal with in our facility with a person who is a ward of the state and is in a very unique position of criminality, and not even the judges know what to do because the state has never faced a situation that we are in with this individual. And so we are working feverishly. We have another hearing tomorrow, and to try to come to some kind of something to help her not be here, because in my opinion, it's certainly not fair. So, but above that, this deputy took the time and effort to come up with outside the box and to sing to an inmate. That is unheard of in my career, to know that. And so, wonderful. I know he's not here, but we appreciate that. April, if I could have Deputy Chris Odenborg, is he here today? He may, I think, did he work last night? Probably. For April, nominated by Sergeant Danny Martino. On April 16th, Odenborg is a patrol deputy. On April 16th, 2016, Deputy Odenborg responded to a call regarding an unwanted subject knocking on a resident's door asking for help. Odenborg responded to the call and met a victim who appeared to have only minor injuries. The victim stated he had been robbed and beaten. Deputy Odenborg immediately began interviewing the victim in his patrol car while waiting for the paramedics to arrive. During the interview, Deputy Odenborg was very professional and showed compassion for the victim. He was able to gather enough information to update the detectives involved in working this case. This allowed the detectives to get a head start on putting the case together and locating the subjects involved. Deputy Odenborg then responded to the hospital to meet with the victim and ask additional questions. When he arrived at the hospital, he was advised that the victim was being treated for possible cardiac arrest. Unfortunately, the victim did not survive the injuries he sustained during the assault. If it had not been for Deputy Ordenborg taking this case very seriously and doing a complete detailed interview with this victim in his car immediately upon getting to him, this case may have never been solved. At the very least, it could have taken months for detectives to have gathered enough evidence to determine all who were involved. A remarkable job by Deputy Ordenborg. I commend him as well to show the compassion. This man was not just beaten; he was completely naked, left out near the lake, and Deputy Ordenborg treated him with humility and respect, and garnered the information that detectives and the rest of our staff, including prosecution, needed to immediately put things in motion to apprehend the individuals responsible, and they were taken into custody within 12 hours because of the staff that we have here today and our partners in the federal law enforcement as well. So two very great examples again of our personnel. So I want to thank Deputy. May, Employee of the Month, might have Corporal Eric Kubisky come forward. And I know he's here because I saw him. He won't have to stand quite as close. Corporal, you were nominated by Lieutenant Eric Miller. Corporal Kubisky was responsible for gathering all of the data necessary to comply with the conditions of the 8th American Civil Liberties Union consent decree and putting it into a report. As the consent decree was nearing its end, roughly 7 years, the ACLU asked for additional proof of a certain jail activity before agreeing to its dismissal. Corporal Kubisky was able to find this specific information in existing data and satisfy the ACLU's concerns. The consent decree was soon after dismissed, thanks in no small part to Corporal Kubisky's efforts. Corporal Kubisky was also asked by Inspector Cindy Mom of the Idaho Sheriff's Association to teach jail standards at the Idaho Post Academy. In her inquiry, she imparted how impressed she was with Corporal Kubisky's reporting for the annual jail inspection and her trust in his ability to teach the Idaho jail standards class to others. Corporal Kubisky's hard work has brought recognition and respect to this agency. And most of you are not aware of what we were producing on a weekly basis, and I'm not exaggerating, that much paperwork data, if you stacked it every week to the ACLU for years, and that's the data that the Corporal had to sift through to find that specific information. That's quite remarkable. So thank you, Corporal Kubisky. We appreciate your efforts and your expertise. It's a great asset. June, if I could have Deputy Michael Teeter come forward. Where are these people? Are we having working overtime? He worked last night. He was nominated by Sergeant Thomas Tippett. Deputy Teeter saw a need for change in the standard operating procedure of the detention center and took immediate action, drafting a proposal for change. Previous to the proposal, high-risk inmates were being placed in waist and leg restraints, which is our highest classification, and escorted from Pod 1 to booking to take showers each day. These inmates presented a substantial risk of injury to others, which required a 2-deputy escort based on their classification. Deputy Teeter proposed that 1 shower in Unit A and 1 shower in Unit D, our disciplinary unit, be retrofitted with a secure cage and a door with cuffing ports be added to the shower area. In doing so, this would allow inmates to be cuffed in their cells and moved a few feet to a secure shower, eliminating the need for escort to booking downstairs. The end result of this proposal, which has been placed into operation as of July of 2016, has minimized the risk presented by requiring a long escort to booking, tying up additional staff and exposing them to the danger of assault by an inmate. Deputy Teeter's observation and efforts to increase the safety of fellow staff members is greatly appreciated. What an innovative idea, and he came forward with it we approved it immediately, and it's now working very, very well for us. So another example. So a round of applause for. So, Corporal McQuiston, could I have you come forward, please? Corporal McQuiston is, Jerry McQuiston is nominated for the Employee of the Month of January. And the nomination is involved in this what I'm about to read. But his nomination also warranted the command staff, rather, the awards committee, to consider the Meritorious Service Medal. And that was unanimously approved by the command. And so let me read this to you. And in essence, the Employee of the Month may become a little bit overshadowed by receiving the Meritorious Service Medal, but I'm going to give you it's the Meritorious Medal definition of why we give this. Meritorious medals are given to, you were nominated by Sergeant Thomas Tippett as well. Meritorious medals are given to members who distinguish themselves by performing in an outstanding manner, worthy of recognition, while engaged in a difficult task outside the scope of normal duties, resulting in the protection of life, the prevention of, or solving of, a major crime, or the apprehension of an armed or dangerous person. Such actions may include, but are not limited to, those that result in the preservation of human life or the significant conservation of property. The award committee has received this case and discussed the criteria for the eligibility of this award. The committee voted unanimously that this member received the Meritorious Service Medal for outstanding professionalism and conduct, and I, as a sheriff, agree with the committee. On January 11, 2016, Corporal McQuiston was working in Pod 1 with his partner, Deputy Kurt Branham. At approximately 1300 hours, Deputy Jim Watson arrived at the unit to pick up an inmate for court. When Deputy Watson was placing belly chains on the inmate spun and secured another set of belly chains to use as a weapon. Corporal McQuiston attempted to come out of the deputy station to assist Deputy Watson, but the inmate was able to keep him away by swinging the chains at them. Deputy Branham entered the vestibule area from Unit D and was struck by the inmate swinging the chains at him, throwing him to the ground. Corporal McQuiston, without regard for his personal safety, rushed the inmate in an attempt to subdue him and remove the chains. Corporal McQuiston's action caused him to receive no less than 4 strikes to his head and shoulders before stopping the inmate's actions. When the chains were taken from the inmate, he continued to fight with Corporal McQuiston, Deputy Branham, and Deputy Watson, who were then able to subdue him enough to allow responding deputies to effectively restrain the inmate. Because of Corporal McQuiston's quick action, no further injuries were caused by the inmate. Corporal McQuiston's actions exemplified the law enforcement code of ethics. What a courageous and worthy award you are about to receive for your actions. We deeply appreciate it. I know your colleagues, your partners appreciate your actions. And it's that selflessness and dedication to what the job we do which puts you a step above others. So I appreciate it. Let me give you this first. The Meritorious Service Medal. And the Employee of the Month as well. Would your family please step forward? Awesome. We'll move this way, let me just wing it away. You want your wife to maybe hold that? Girls, are you in here? Get you in your front center. How's that? Great.
Looking at me?
Thank you, guys. So now I'd like to acknowledge the recipients who have received a promotion since the last award ceremony. We value all of our members, of course, but we are especially pleased to watch someone who rises to the challenges presented and grows in the agency through promotion. So if I could have the following folks come forward, and then I will read what their promotions are. If I could have Bill Adams, Betty Cousins, Paul LeBron, Jerry McQuiston, Russell Bowers, Kurt Branham, and Kevin Curl. So light list. So I'm going to go ahead and read the rest of them first. Betty Cousins was promoted to sergeant in the Security Services Inmate Control. Paul LeBron promoted to sergeant in Security Services Inmate Control. Russell Bowers promoted to corporal in Security Services Inmate Control. Kurt Branham promoted to corporal in Security Services Inmate Control. And Kevin Curl promoted to corporal in Security Services Inmate Control. In addition, of course, Jerry McQuiston promoted to corporal in Security Services Inmate Control. And Bill Adams has been promoted to captain in Field Services. Congratulations, gentlemen. Just so you know, next time we're going to have her sit in a different place. But thank you guys, appreciate it. Well, today that pretty much wraps up our ceremony. Obviously, it's been a real pleasure of mine to give out these awards and to give out these recognitions for all the people who have stood up here today. And I appreciate Naomi's patience with my antics toward her. We appreciate what you do. Thank you, and Sean and Joe for always documenting these events. We appreciate it. Thank you to everyone who came and supported these folks. Again, I know it takes time out of your day, and everyone's busy, and we have a lot going on. Quite frankly, this is what it takes to build a family. I think Chris said it takes a village to solve crimes. It takes a family, which is what we are, the Sheriff's Office, to do what we do. Not just as a Sheriff's Office, but really the law enforcement family. And thank you, of course, to my assistant, Deborah, who puts all this on each time and does it with great presentation, and I appreciate you always being ahead of the game. And of course, the facilities crew for setting up the facility. But I just want to end with how important it is that we watch out for each other, and that we are one unit, and that we do have a lot of hurdles before us, a lot that we've overcome, but many more, unfortunately, that we will see. And take the time to be with your families. Don't let this job get you. I'm so thankful for those that can retire, because now they have put their time in, believe me. They have put more than their time in. And we appreciate what you've done for us and what you've done for our people. So with that, stay safe, stay vigilant, and may God bless each and every one of you. Thank you.